So today I wanted to talk about one of the symbols that you find a lot in the church, and it is this symbol of the three boar's heads. And you will find this all over the church. You'll find it in the stained glass windows here and in other places as well. And you can see in this stained glass window the reason for the boar's heads. The boar's heads are the family emblem of the Booth family. And you can see in the writing in the window here, "To the glory of God and in memory of Humphrey Booth the elder, the founder and endower of this church and benefactor of the poor of Salford." And this window was erected in 1882. But Humphrey Booth the elder, more about the younger in a moment, but Humphrey Booth was a wealthy merchant who lived in Salford and worshipped at the parish church then, which is now Manchester Cathedral, on the other side of the river. So Salford in the Middle Ages was the more important civic centre because Manchester was in the Salford Hundred and the county court was in Salford. But Manchester was the larger of the two towns and Manchester had the parish church. But Humphrey had a vision for having a church for the people of Salford, in Salford, where people wouldn't have to cross the river to get to church. There was a bridge over the river. Certainly at one point you had to pay to cross the bridge. And Humphrey Booth wanted a church for the people of Salford and raised the money for it. Most of the money he gave himself, and in 1635 the church opened, Sacred Trinity Church, and actually in 1635, a couple of months after the church was consecrated, Humphrey himself died. The other window here commemorates his grandson, Humphrey Booth the Younger, and Humphrey Booth the Younger donated land to pay for the poor of Salford. To pay for the upkeep of the church towards the costs of ministry here and for the poor of Salford. And his generous donations means that we're still here today. And here we have Humphrey Booth's original gravestone, which he was buried in what is now Manchester Cathedral. And this was the gravestone that he had there. Later on, they gave him a better gravestone, and this gravestone was reused. People were careful with their money in those days. It's telling you when he died. On the 23rd of July, 1635. Yeah, so this gravestone was reused, and later on it was found when they were doing some work at the cathedral, and it was brought here, and here's the plaque that tells you about that. Sorry, we ought to keep it zoomed out. And we love this phrase, "Love his memory, imitate his devotion." So in many places around the church, you will find boar's heads. There's the symbol of the boar's heads, the symbol of the Booth family. And one interesting thing to note about this symbol, which is probably lost on us today, is that the boar's heads in that position are a symbol of hospitality. Presumably because if you were throwing a party and welcoming people into your home, you would have a boar's head in the middle of the table. And I guess if it was a particularly generous party, you would have 3 boar's heads in the middle of the table, I guess. And so it's interesting to note that commitment to hospitality. So that is one of the things that marks us as a church, really. That at Sacred Trinity, we are very committed to hospitality, to welcoming the stranger, to reaching out in love to those around us and those who turn up on our doorstep. And so that commitment to hospitality continues today.